Alright, here's what's gonna happen. This first stream is gonna be fairly short, so I'll try my best to do what I can in the time allotted. Then, later today, I'll probably stream again and try to finish the rest of this illustration. There's some things that I'm trying to do that require time sensitivity, so that is why it needs to be split into two streams. But if all things go according to plan, then we'll be able to complete this drawing in a timely fashion, and we won't have to worry too much about it. As you can see, I already have a sketch done of it, so we just gotta refine it. Let me look up photos of Sonic the Hedgehog. His tendrils, if you will, his hair. I don't know what you would call that. I need to make sure that it's at least close to accurate. Because I know there's at least one in the middle, and there's two on each side, and there's one underneath it. As you can see, there's too many I drew in the sketch here. So I'm just going to make sure that it's closer to accuracy. Yeah, just as I suspected. Okay. I guess I don't really need the references anymore. Sonic's design is actually pretty simple, so that's good. Not simple, but it's easier to remember compared to other stuff I've drawn. So keeping a mental note of it isn't too problematic for me. All right. So I'm gonna just refine it right here with that. So we need one here, one here. Make this a little bit lower so it can match up with the perspective a bit better. One in the middle. Or maybe I actually didn't put too many. Maybe I was just overthinking it. Okay. And then one right here. So I guess it wasn't too many. We got it pretty close. So here's what I'll go back in, delete some of this, clean it up a little bit with single strokes. Okay. Just simplifying the line strokes on his hand. I don't really need to do this because I'm gonna just do it in the line art anyway. But I don't know, maybe just sketching it out will probably make it easier for me to not have to uh, think too much about the line art when I get there because it's already pre-established. Um, but we'll see what happens. Line here. You probably want to see the scene from there. Or the shoulder a bit. Don't want him to look too. I don't want him to look too. I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is. Too constricted, too uncomfortable, too. Oh no. Big fail on that. Now, gotta be careful here and not make the same mistake they originally made with Sonic's legs, where they made it too human-like. Man, did not look good. It was very uncanny. Very, very uncanny. I said, what? Why did y'all give him human legs? Why do I see his calf muscles? Why do I see his calf muscles? Okay. Got the sock design here. It's kind of puffy looking. Got the shoes. Got the kicks. A Michael Jackson inspired shoes. Um, I guess a good reference would be the underside of his shoes, like what the underside of his shoes look like. But I suppose it's safe to assume that it is just the lines. Like that's the most basic like way you can go about it. Just those lines. So I'm gonna just go with that. Looks like I was trying to make an attempt at a perspective with the lines though. So I'll try to maintain that. So this was the straight line here. Kind of start fading out like that. Yeah, I mean, it's more or less what I did in the original sketch, so that works. Maybe I move this line out, move closer up here, and push this out. Uh, okay, there we go. Have it just curve up just a little bit. To be honest, I'm not too big a fan of how big it is back here. Like, I know why it's big because it's closer, but it just looks kind of strange. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What's how you doing, man? That's a serious crease in his right shoe. It hurts to look at. You know Sonic don't care about his creases. That is a weird crease though. I don't know. Is there much I can do about that? I might be able to get away with it only because Sonic's proportions are a bit strange because they're cartoonish anyway. Um, but let's see. Maybe if I warp it a little bit. Better to try and get stuff taken care of in the sketch phase than later. I know what I need to do. Transform. Oops. That might help a little bit. Still a wild crease, but it's a little bit better. There's more volume in the foot. And then let's see. You're supposed to ball up some tissues and stuff them in the shoe. It's always funny when you have new shoes for like school or just new shoes in general because there's a specific gait that you adopt. Like the way you normally walk is no longer the same. You adopt this weird gait where you kind of walk flat-footed, or at least when you walk, you cut like half of your motion. So like you'll step with your heels still, but after that you kind of lift your entire foot up, as opposed to like letting it slowly come off the ground, like one piece of the foot at the other, like heel to foot. Now it's heel and the whole foot is gone off the ground. It's really funny to look at because you can tell somebody's trying to not get creases in their feet or in their shoes rather. Upper fly knit and penguin walking. Stairs will kill you. Stairs, because at that point it's like you're really being tested. You're really being tested as to whether or not you can prevent your shoes from getting creased. And you know, of course, after a while you stop caring, but those first couple of days, maybe weeks, it's like oof. What was I gonna say? Uh, oh, that's why I like fly knit and mesh top like shoes really changed the game for real. Because not only now can you can avoid creases and walk as comfortably as you want because the upper what do they call it? It's not the tongue, but it's like the upper like top of it, like right above the toe of the shoe, or maybe it is the toe. I don't know. They have that as a mesh now, so it's two birds one stone. Now you can walk comfortably, and you have airflow. So like when you're walking, your feet won't smell after you take off your shoes because there was enough airflow for them. Only downside is if it's raining, you're out of luck. Like you are genuinely out of luck because your feet are going to get soaked. Um, that's the only problem with mesh uppers. But it does solve the problem of creasing and airflow, which were two crippling problems of shoes. But funny thing about design is something you learn very quickly is you solve one problem to make another. That's what happens. You solve one problem, now you got another one. This is his hand here. Okay, cool. Match that curve almost exactly. Nice. Um, Turn this off. Go ahead and save, and as well as export this sketch for the patrons. If all things go accordingly today, the Sonic drawings will be released tonight on Patreon, so that's gonna be cool. As well as the actual illustration, but I see you flying the ambassador over here. They better cut you a check. Yeah, I don't have too many fly knits, honestly, but I can appreciate the design behind them. They Another problem they do have though is they're not as, I don't know, that they don't feel as strong or as durable. They can get damaged easier. Because I used to have a pair of fly knit Nikes or some kind of like mesh top, but the front of the shoe got torn up. Like it was basically like it was like a hole in your sock. That's what happened to my shoe. Not once in my life did I think I would wear a pair of shoes that would get a hole in its sock, but here we are. Excuse me. Can you imagine Sonic wearing fly knit shoes? He'd run with them once and they just like burst into flames, disintegrate. That's exactly what would happen. Okay, here's the black color. Get our pen, our trusty G pen. Very fluid, very nice and consistent pen to use for this kind of thing. Um, so we'll get things popping. Kind of want to do this right here. Make it look more glove-like. Let's see. Okay. That was it, 12, 18. Okay. You ever forget to take your shoes off during prayer, like at work or something, when you're sitting in the shahud? Realize how bad they're creasing. um, Fortunately, the shoes I have, if I'm praying and like they're on, they're flexible enough. Well, no, actually, that's not true. It's that I don't care enough for them to crease, because I try to I try to take with me shoes that fit my work uniform, but I also don't care much about. Like it has to be shoes that like they look relatively decent, but they're not like some Nikes or like some high end Nike shoes or anything like that. I don't own a lot of expensive shoes because I know deep down A, I'm probably not going to clean them. B, I'm probably going to crease them. And so it's like I try to bring shoes with me that I know I won't have too much emotional attachment to if they do get creased. Because when I go to work, I want to be able to just move without thought. I want to be able to just do things without having to worry about like my clothing. Uh, you wear Asics. I think I think the shoes I got they're Levi's. That's what they are. They're Levi's and they got a little bit of padding on the sole, so I can stand in them for a decent amount of time. My feet do get like sore, but that's not the shoe's fault. That's just me standing because you can wear the most comfortable shoes ever, right? But eventually your feet will get sore from just standing. That's just how it is. So I know that's not really the shoe's fault. That's just standing for 6 hours. That's what that is. But yeah, no, they at least don't get in the way. That's the nice thing about them. So um, but yeah, they serve their purpose. They're a little bit worn down. Like there's some places where it got torn up just a little bit. Like some of the outer layer of the shoes material has kind of been peeled off. And that's like I said, that's expected from just the constant wearing of them for work at least. And sometimes I do take them out to like go get groceries or something. Um, so going out sometimes with them, it's like every like a part of me wants to get new shoes, but another part of me is like, don't get new shoes because I'm not really going anywhere. Like with the current situation and the closeness of my job and the closeness of other stores, the likelihood of me going out to do anything with like buddies and stuff to where I need to dress nice is so, excuse me, unlikely that it's like, do I really need new shoes? And personally, I'm not too big of a shoe connoisseur, so I definitely am not collecting them. I'm not a sneakerhead, so it's like every reason I have to get shoes is like, I don't know. It's not warranted enough for me to buy it. But I also found out that's just probably me as a person. As I've gotten older, the desire for me to buy stuff has decreased. Like each year, it's like I really don't want to buy this. I don't want to buy this. I don't need this. I don't need this. It's becoming more and more like I don't really need this. Um, so it's like I end up saving a decent amount of money because of that because I don't want to buy a lot of stuff. I look at my account and I go, oh, I have this much money left. Okay, that's cool. I don't know, save that up for something. Maybe I can get me a tablet later. I don't know. I just wear thobes when out, so I like different shoes to match my thobes. Yeah. Me, because it's like because I have that pray anywhere, anytime mentality. Shorts have slowly just disappeared out of my closet. Because I used to wear, as a kid, you got a lot of shorts on. But once the parents tell you, yeah, by the way, you can't pray with shorts on, and you're like, oh, and then or rather, you can, but the shorts have to be long enough to go below your knees. So now you're looking like, you're about to go pull up to the court in like 2003, getting ready to ball out with the biggest shorts possible. Or you can just get a bunch of pants. And that's exactly what happened to me. I just got a bunch of pants. Because when I was younger, I did try to get shorts that were longer than my knees. And, it worked for a little bit. But then after a while, I was like, this ain't worth it. Like, when you get older, wearing shorts that big kind of looks a little funny. So after a while, you're like, nah, let me just get pants. I have a few thobes. The only reason as to why I don't like wearing them is because I'm pretty bad at, like, forgetting to A, take them off while eating so they get stained, or B, they just get stained anyway. Because, a lot of my thobes are lighter in color. Like, I have a bunch of lighter color thobes. So, I don't know. I feel like it seems to be more common to get light colored thobes than dark colored ones. Like, I don't really see a lot of people with dark colored thobes too much. But I know they exist. I've seen them. They look cool. It's just that for some reason I don't have any. Maybe one day if I go shopping for them, I'll be like, no, I'm looking specifically for dark colored thobes. Thank you. I don't believe in myself to keep these clean. Yes, I have too many light colored ones. I'm not good with light colors, man. Way too easy to stain for me. I don't know how other people do it. I don't know how other people are so like pristine about their life that they're able to not stain white clothes, but me, that's not happening. It's just not real. It doesn't exist. So I try my best to stay away from light clothes, which is ironic because I back in June made a hoodie that is very bright, very white, easy to stain. But I also don't wear it, so I also don't wear it. Speaking of hoodies, I know I attempted to rob you guys of your money earlier this year, and I'm not gonna apologize because I'm probably gonna do it again. I'm not gonna apologize because I'm probably gonna try and take your money later this year again. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. I'm warning you at least. I'm warning you, Musa, at least now. I'm warning you now. Yeah. Now besides those for Juma prayers thing, I'm staying away from light white those. Yeah, man. Tay, what's up, Tay? How's your day going? How you been? Welcome to the stream. Um, Birdman hand rub. I hate that once I read that, um, a vivid image of Birdman appeared. Like the exact meme where he's like walking into the frame and he's kind of like swaying left and right and he's like rubbing his hands. Like it was a vivid, low frame rate, low quality GIF of him doing that in my head. It was kind of wild. Immediate visual representation appeared in my head once you said that. Bring it. It's good so far. About to go to the laundromat. Get some clothes washed. Super stoked that you're drawing Sonic. Hey man, had to happen eventually. Last time I drew Sonic was a while ago. I can't actually remember what day it was. It was in the 20. It was in 2020. It was like not too far away from when that movie came out, and I even drew like Sonic in his movie version. Like it was like a movie version of Sonic. where it was like he had fur on his arms and uh, he had lightning on his tendrils. They were glowing, all that good stuff. But now this is more of a video game Sonic, like more like the modern Sonic design. A part of me almost went for the classic design, like classic Sonic, where he's like super like round, and but the only problem was Shadow doesn't have a classic design because he didn't exist during the classic era of Sonic. He pulled up in the modern day Sonic, like Sonic Adventures. So I was like, oh, we don't have a design for Shadow in the classic mode, do we? Every other character, I think, does. Well, I don't know. Is Knuckles classic? Does Knuckles pull up in the classic era? I can't remember. He might just be a modern day character. Tails and Sonic for sure are classic. Dr. Eggman is classic. So 3 out of the 5 would have made it. But yeah, no, I just didn't know what classic Shadow would have looked like. I mean, I have a good idea as to what he would look like, but it's better I just go for the modern design. I'm probably gonna buy me a Sonic plush. Yeah, those are the top 3. Yeah, Sonic. But yeah, this stream is gonna be pretty short because I gotta go get my How do I say this without demonetizing this video? I'm about to get my seatbelt buckled. I put my seatbelt on 3 weeks ago, and they said, okay, you're scheduled for 3 weeks later to get your seatbelt buckled. So I have to go get my seatbelt buckled at 4 o'clock today. But because my brother is also getting his seatbelt buckled, I have to go pick him up from school. And so because of that, I have to leave early so I can pick him up and then manage to get our stuff and then go to the pharmacy, get the seatbelt buckled, and then come back. And maybe I'll try to do a second stream so that I can finish this drawing. But the alternate timeline is my mom said if she was able to get like the food like done, she said she was willing to get him instead. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If it's 1:30 and I'm in a decent like pace, I'm probably just gonna go and pick him up. Heck, all of them. He said, "Oh." Yeah. Because I don't know what the policy on YouTube is about that topic anymore. Because I remember for a while you couldn't even say the word. You couldn't even say the condition, the situation at hand. You had to like use substitute words or just not mention it at all. I'm confusion, but okay. Yeah. Uh, I don't know. I'm trying to find another way to explain it. There was another way that another YouTuber said it that was kind of funny. He said something like something Cyrus. I don't know how he pronounced it, but he did it in a really funny way, and I was like, oh, that's what he's talking about. Yeah, David, David. But he said it in a really funny way. I was like, oh yeah, I know what he's talking about. Yeah. Um, no, that's not related to religion. It's related to health. It's related to health. That's what that is. Me saying I'm putting my seatbelt on is a metaphor for getting the talking with my friend. Her name is Maxine. That's what that's a metaphor for, which is another metaphor for something else. Something what doctor do to babies. Something like that, yeah. So yeah, I'm supposed to take my second one, and I don't know. This one kind of concerns me because when I put my seatbelt on, nothing happened. The arm I used to put on my seatbelt was a little sore, but that went away because once I went to work and moved my arm around, it was like, oh, okay, we're good. And it disappeared, like the soreness disappeared. Yeah, that's my concern. It's like, okay, here is a guy trying to draw on a daily basis, and I've drawn enough every day to know that um it doesn't take much for me to not want to draw anymore. Like in terms of, well, that's not true. It doesn't take much for me to not draw well. There are days I've had where like if I didn't get enough rest or if like my day didn't go very well, my drawings don't um they don't come out the way I want them to. People might still like them, but they don't come out the way I wanted them to come out. So that's my concern. I don't like the idea that like if I so I'm trying like my best to try and finish this drawing in a timely fashion before I have to go. Because if I come back and I'm out of it, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be upset if I come back and I'm not able to like finish this drawing. That would make me genuinely upset. It's like there's no way I'm out of commission after only a few hours. Are you serious? Um, Yours is the 18th of September. Gotcha. What's good, G? What's up, Holy? Welcome to the stream. How you been? I'm just drawing Soniku. Sonic. This would count as my second time drawing Sonic in recent time. I wouldn't be surprised if I drew him when I was a kid. But this is the first time I'm drawing Sonic uh, since 2020. Actually, yeah, no, since 2020. There's another time I drew Sonic back in like 2019 for somebody's birthday. And in that version, I drew like Toei Sonic. If you guys ever seen Toei Sonic, it's Sonic CD. It's that opening intro with the Sonic Boom song. That's the Sonic I drew. That one's real classic, real adorable looking. But like the animation for that intro was super dope. Um, Maybe I'll show you guys after the line art's done. Let's see. I think I can get the line art and coloring done before 1:30. Actually, I know for a fact I can get it done before 1:30. I can probably get it done before 1. But the shading will not happen in 30 minutes. It just won't. Because the way I shaded Shadow has to be consistent. Like, the way I'm gonna shade Sonic has to be consistent with everything else, and everything else has a few separate layers of shading and lighting. And because Sonic is closer to the camera, the details on Sonic will be also more refined. It will be more visible. So you have to maintain consistency with that. Like the further away something is, the less detail you can give it. But the closer it is, you have to put more detail into it. So I just know from like previous experience and how I went about it, it's gonna take a while, and it's something I won't be able to get done at least efficiently and with enough polish in 30 minutes. It's just not gonna happen. So that's probably where the stream will end. The stream will probably end where I have it fully colored, at least Sonic fully colored, but no background and minimal shading. And then after that, I'm gonna go try and get my seatbelt buckled. Well, first I'm gonna go pick up my brother from school, then we get our seatbelt buckled, and then we try to come back. And I'm gonna try to start another stream after this. Like, it'll probably show up around like, I don't know, 4:35. I'm gonna try and see if I can stream again then and finish the rest of this drawing. Um, that's the game plan at least. I don't know how close to the game plan we'll actually reach, but we'll see what happens. I totally get what you're talking about now. Yeah. Are you gonna do an animation? Nah, not this time. I wanted to, but I don't know. Me doing an animation, the way I was thinking about it, it didn't match up with the rest of my plan because this Sonic drawing and all the other Sonic drawings, spoiler alert, is part of a master plan. It's part of the master plan. I haven't done a master plan drawing in a while. The last time I did a master plan drawing was in April. So I figured, I should probably do another master plan drawing again. And here we are. It's happening again. After several months have passed. You driving? Yeah, I'm driving, but it's not far at all. Like, I technically could walk to where I'm getting my seatbelt buckled. But, whatchamacallit? Yeah, it's not far at all. Like I said, I could walk there. So that's not a big concern for me. And I don't plan on driving after that either. Like, I don't plan on going anywhere. So that's good. What I should have done, honestly, I forgot to do so weeks ahead of time. But what I should have done was schedule myself off of work for the rest of the week because I don't know. I don't know what the effects are gonna be afterwards. But because I forgot, it's like, well, too late for me to schedule it out now. And the only way I can get myself scheduled off is if I call out. And I do not. I repeat, I do not like calling out of work. It feels disgusting. I hate how it feels, and I don't like it when it happens. Like when I'm at work and we're super busy, like I'm on the register and we're super busy, and I'm like, bro, why don't we have enough cashiers? And then I find out somebody called out. I get a little mad, and I know that's not entirely right to be mad because something could have actually happened. There could have been a legit emergency. So it's like, okay, we'll just have to deal with it. But a part of me just gets mad. I can't really help it. It's like, frick, dude. Didn't pull up to work. Sheesh. But things happen, so it's like I understand the call outs. But I don't so that's why I don't like to call out. It's like I don't like being that person who like said I was gonna pull up and then don't. At least at work. So it's just like, nah. How you get it fixed without the car? Huh? Oh, I forget. You you probably weren't here when I was mentioning that it was a metaphor. Me putting on my seatbelt is a metaphor. It's not an actual that's not the actual thing I'm doing. It's a metaphor for something else. That the reason why I made that metaphor is because YouTube doesn't like it when you talk about it. It potentially demonetizes your video. Someone gonna have to take me home after the second one. When I first got it done, it felt like, oh goodness, cement was in your bloodstream. My blood felt low for like 3 seconds, but then it went away. Oh, or it felt slow. Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, I got pretty lucky with that first seat belt because all that happened to me was I got a sore arm and that went away once I went to work because I was using it in the said arm. So I got really lucky. So all I'm hoping for right now is that I get the same kind of luck this time around. But based off what people are saying, most times out of it seems like most times out of 10, that second one, if the first one don't get you, the second one does, and it's like, oh, this sucks. Fake news. Yeah. Where you work? I work at a retail store. Well, not retail, a grocery store rather. It's not a retail store; it's a grocery store. Um, I'm kind of like the position is called customer lead, which is, in my opinion, kind of just a glorified cashier. And what customer lead means is what you call it? It basically means that you're the dude that kind of like does a bunch of different things in the front of the store. Like if they need an extra cashier, then you turn into a cashier. If you need to pick up carts, then you go pick up carts. If you need to clean up a spill, if the QA is not available, they'll probably ask you to do it. If a cashier needs help, they'll go to you for assistance. Um, like it's just like the things that a cashier might not be able to do because they're a cashier. They're busy doing that. So the customer lead will do the things that they can't do. Or sometimes if the cashier needs bagging assistance, then the customer lead will pull up and help them with bagging. So it's like a variety of things a customer lead can do. If somebody needs help at the front desk, sometimes I'll help them out, depending on what they're asking for. If they're asking for a money order, if they're asking for that Western Union, sorry, bro, I'm gonna have to ask somebody else to help you out because I can't do it. Uh, that's big money. That's big money. I'm not messing with big money. I'll mess with little money, you know. I'll help you out with little money. Lottery, maybe, you know. But big money, nah, I'm not messing with that. Sorry, I'm not messing with big money. Um, Maybe I should have chose the week to keep myself busy. I chose Saturday for both, but that may be why I'll have symptoms. Right, because you're not moving the body around. That sounds like a title they give us that sounds important but isn't accommodated in pay. The I won't say the exact price or exact pay I get, but the difference between when I was a cashier and then the promo I got for being customer lead wasn't significant. I have to be honest with you. It was a very small increment upwards. Like I said, I won't say what it is, but just assume it's super low. It's like negligible. Um, because the way the store works is they give you an extra raise each year. So the longer you stay in the store, the higher your pay will become just from seniority. But it's a very small increment. But eventually it does add up, right? Because it's like, oh, you've been here for what, 5 years? Oh, well, at least it's like, an extra, couple more, dollars here because you've been here long enough. Which is how long I've been there. I've been there for like 5 years. People always get surprised when I tell them that. They're like, 5 years? What? I'm like, yep. Because like 3 of those years was when I was in college, and then the next two were after college. And I'm still here because I didn't intend on like I wanted to leave that store a different number of times, and it wasn't because I didn't hate. It wasn't because I hated it. It was just because like, oh, I could be doing something else now, or oh, I could be getting more paid somewhere else. But after like years went on, I was like, do I really want to go work for the white man, leave that job only to go work for the white man again? Is this what I want? I started really thinking about it. I was like, do I really want this? Or do I want to take the gamble, risk risk like trying to make my own job, but if all things go accordingly, I'll at least get my own kind of money. Like which one do I really want to do? Um And so we're kind of in this phase right now where I'm doing something that doesn't get me paid enough to live off of yet. So that's why I'm still at the job. But I know that if I keep working on it, it's like the potential for it to get me money is higher. Like the more that's why they asked me like, how come you don't work more? Because I only work like 3 days out of the week at that store. So sometimes they'll ask me that, like, hey, you want to work some more days? I go, no. It's like, you don't want to work no more days? Like, no, I don't. Because the thing is, I've seen what happens to people when they work those kinds of jobs, and it's the only time, and it's the only like job they have, or not the only job they have, but they have another job, but it takes up their entire day. Like that, not gonna lie, that boils my skin. Boils my blood, and then by default boils my skin, because you basically locked yourself in to a profession that you might get promoted in, but odds are you're probably going to be stuck in the same position. Or if you do get promoted, the increase in price isn't too significant enough, so you still have to work those hours, and you don't have enough time in your day or energy to really try and improve yourself in another thing that could get you potentially more money. So seeing that happen and kind of looking at my situation like, okay, just got out of college. Um, I'm still young, so it's socially still kind of tolerable for me to stay at my parents' house, right? So people won't look at me like I'm dumb or something. And I have this extra time to try and at least improve something that I know based off just how other people's stories are, that I can get more money off of this while still like doing something I like. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna invest more time on that than I'm gonna be at the store. They know you got a master plan. Yeah, man. Sometimes when they ask me that question, like, how come you don't work more days? I'll just tell them like I have another job, and that's not entirely true, but it is. Like I consider this as a somewhat of a job, but the reason why it's not entirely a job is because it doesn't pay me well. But sometimes that's easier to say than to say that, oh, I draw every day with the hopes and dreams that me furthering my craft and developing my social network with people will allow me to monetize myself online and be able to make more money than I do here. Like that makes, I don't know, it's easier to explain. I just have an extra job. And the thing is, the thing with social media is the reason why people don't like it right now is for a variety of reasons, right? There's plenty of valid reasons to not like social media, but the way I see it, it's like, nah, people are making bank off of this. I'm going to have to try, at least try. If I fail, fine, fine. I fail, I go back to trying to work for the man, and I'll follow the same pattern everyone else did. But I'm going to try first. I have to. It's going to hurt me if I don't try first. I'm going to hate myself if I don't try first. That's how they gauge if they can screw you over with workloads or not. Yeah, like I've been pretty strict about my schedule with them. Like because I'm a part-timer, I'm not supposed to work full-time hours anyway. And I've been pretty lucky with my hours. They've been relatively nice to me about it. Um but each time that question comes up, I'm very strict about like what days and what times I'm willing to work. Um like my schedule is Thursday 10 to 7, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. No, no, sorry. 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It used to be 10 to 7 on Saturdays and Sundays, but that was like a little bit too draining for me. And I'm sure there's plenty of people who in the future will see this video and this specific part of this clip and be like, you're a wimp. You can't handle 10 to 7. You're weak. And I'm just like, hey man, listen, you might be able to drain your life force on this job, but I can't. Um, and then So it's 10 to 5 on Thursday, 10 to 5 on Saturday, and then 10 to 5 on Sunday. That's my current schedule. And the reason why I did that was because 10 to 5 is late enough in the day that if I stayed up late trying to finish a drawing last night, I'll still be able to wake up and function at work. But 5 o'clock is early enough that if I come home from 5 o'clock, I'll have enough time to even rest, even for an hour or two, then go draw again, and then finish that drawing at the end of the day. Like even my work schedule is based off of the time I can give myself to draw. So it really takes like second place in terms of priority with my time, like the use of time. But it's a nice little job to have because even though I'm not the breadwinner of the household, being able to get my own money so I can buy my own stuff is super useful and helpful too because sometimes my parents might go say, "Hey, can you get some groceries real quick?" Or, "Hey, can you get some food for your siblings?" Like the fact that I can still do that even though I'm not the breadwinner, but that extra money I get from that job at least helps a little bit. I'm not a complete freeloader. Like I help a little bit. Or like, oh, get some pizza. I'm like, okay. Like it's nice to be able to do that, even if I'm not, getting a bunch of money, while I try to uh, build up my portfolio, my platform on social media, so that I can one day end up having a lot of money and just uh, what you call it, be able to like afford more stuff and be able to be my own breadwinner. Quran swears by time to show it's important. Surah Al-Asr. I'm not giving these people more of my valuable time than needed. Listen, bro. Time is a non-renewable resource. It is a non-renewable. Like sure, oil is non-renewable, right? And if you aren't careful, renewable resources will be non-renewable if you exert more of the resource faster than it can replenish itself, which apparently happened this year. Kind of scary. Um, but time is a non-renewable resource. That junk does not come back. You don't actually like you can't gain money, or you can gain money, but you can't gain time, bro. You can't gain time unless you're the Flash. Yeah, man. So I might at least try it. I might at least try and see if I can get this to work. If I don't get it to work, so be it. I go about my business somewhere else. I try to do something else, but I gotta try this out first. Um, but looks like I finished a line art. That's cool. I'm glad I have the ability to speak and talk while drawing, because sometimes I forget. Like I'll be drawing and I know what I'm doing because I'm thinking about it, and then but at the same time I don't really see what's happening. It's almost like it's borderline autopilot, but it's not full autopilot yet. And then I look at the drawing and I'm like, oh, I'm done. Yay. um, at least in the line art phase. When I do like shading, I'm a little bit more focused on the shading because that's when I'm calculating light paths. But line art is not too difficult. All right, we can call it a Sonic now. Soniku. Select this right here. I like to use the wand tool for coloring because it selects all the major parts I need to take care of. Do I need to do anything else? Select anywhere else? I don't think so. Alright, we're good there. Control Shift I to invert the selection. Make a new layer. And that makes it the mask right here. This clipping mask I made from the selection will allow me to color anywhere on the layer, but it will not go past its borders like that. Pretty cool. I like it. So, let me see. Let me find a good color for Sonic. His classic design is lighter in blue color, and his modern day design is a bit deeper. It's deeper in blue. I wonder if I should mess around and use classic Sonic's colors on modern Sonic's design. Mess with people a little bit. I feel like that'd be kind of fun to do. Experiment, try stuff out. I like to experiment with my drawings. Um, I've gotten more comfortable with that because before I would just try to color the character the way it is, but nowadays I try to like mess around a little bit. Like if you look at my Mortal Kombat drawing of a Jax and Sonya, they're literally purple and green. Like their skin is purple and green. So I try to do stuff like that. I try to be more experimental with my colors, um, just to be more intriguing. Um, all right, let's get like a tan color for the skin of Sonic. Let me see. It's a little bit too yellow. Make it a little bit brighter. Try that. That's a little pale. Never mind. Push out the reds a little bit. And then turn on the set as reference layer option. There we go. Excuse me. Now we gotta color the gloves. There was a color I was using for the gloves for another character that worked fairly well. I think it's this one. It might be that one, or it could be something else. That is pure white. This also works, yeah. So we got that, there, there. The skin here looks too human. Looks way too human. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change the color on that. So the sole of the shoes is gray, but everything else is the same color. Okay, bet. I'll change the color of the skin and the blue. It's not. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot to color the. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now I'm gonna change the color of this. Control U. And push. I'm gonna push the yellows in. There we go. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I didn't. I had too much red in it. I had to push the yellows out. And then I'm gonna go to the color blue, and I'm gonna make it darker. I'm gonna darken it. I'm gonna darken it, just like that. But I'm also gonna increase the saturation just a little bit. Okay. Now it's looking a little bit more like Sonic. Aha, ha, Sonic. Aha, Sonic. Aha, ha, Sonic. Um, what else? What else? I wonder. I wonder. What does the back of Sonic's shoes look like? I know in some versions of his shoes, he has like a design on the back. I might include that, honestly. Honestly. So if that's the case, I'm gonna have to delete this mask here. Delete. Actually, no. No, I don't. I don't have to delete that. That's an easy fix, actually. It was funny yesterday. You were talking about last time you played a game on stream, no one showed up, and due to them wanting to see you draw only. But yesterday you had 15 viewers watching you play Sonic. Yeah, that's the funny part, bro. Um, that was the funny part about it all. I said that, and when I went to go raid, because like that's when I see my viewer count. I don't like to look at my view count while I'm streaming because what you call it? Because it messes with my head. Like seeing the number of people like fluctuate. Because one time I'll be like, oh, cool. I got 10, 15 viewers. Nice. Let's go. And then like literally minutes later, it's like 3. And you're like, what did I do? What, what did I do wrong? I can't be having that on my thought process while I'm streaming. It's going to mess with me psychologically. So I turned that off. I turned off my ability to see my view count. And so the only time I see it is when I'm about to go raid somebody. And I was like, oh wow, 15 people are here. What the heck? What? So yeah. Nice Sonic, thank you, Demo. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm coloring Sonic as we speak. Let's see. Oh no, did I mention seat buckles? uh, did I mention seat buckles? Yeah, man. I mentioned seat buckles on stream, and it's like, oh, don't mess with you no more, big fella. And they just leave my stream. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be sad. Um, yeah, that feels actually better that I drew that. It helps with the giant negative space that was here. So we just gotta make sure we mirror that design here as well. And then adjust the line art so that there's some form here. It's not flat at the end. We can't make it a tangent. So there we go. Oops. That line does not connect. So it's erasing all of it. Ew. I don't want to get rid of it though. We just let me have this, man. Let me have it. Okay, there we go. And go in here, touch up this right there. There we go. And here, I need to fix this up. Oops, that is not the same color. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's go ahead and actually, yeah, we do need to erase this line right here. Whoops. Whoops. It's my favorite character in Smash, by the way. I don't play Smash anymore because it makes me a toxic individual, and I'm trying my best to be the best version of myself. So, so Smash is not part of that equation. Okay, cool. Let's go get some reds. That's some bright reds, ain't it? Frig, dude. But it's starting to feel a lot like Sonic. Like once, it's so crazy how once I put in the red, like it feels almost like Sonic, right? But something's off. And then once you put in that red, it's like boom, that's him. That's what character design. That's what good character design does. Like if you pick the right colors and you make your character super recognizable and all that good stuff. Like once you start doing the things that make it recognizable, it's over. Sand coffin. Like it's immediately recognizable. Immediately. Like it's so cool how that works. It's like boom, Sonic. Anywhere you go, you see Sonic and you're like, yep, that's Sonic. Yeah, he's over there. Like what? That's Sonic. But yeah. Um any tips on making detailed drawings? References are very useful. If you have references of whatever you're doing, or you can find something that is very close to the subject you are drawing, having a reference is very important for making details because you can't remember every detail unless you have like I don't know photographic memory, or if you've drawn something enough times to where you remember all the details. So if you're drawing something you're not familiar with, or you're drawing something you just don't remember all the details for, having a reference of it is very, very valuable. Um, so yeah, like because I've drawn hands so often, and because I kind of have an understanding of how folds and creases work with hands, it's easier for me to make details in my hands and the creases of the gloves and stuff because I kind of know how that works. Like I've seen it enough times to go, okay, that's where the folds happen, that's where the creases happen. So it's easier for me to do that. Um, if you have trouble with a landscape, for example, the best way to look up reference is like best way to put details in a background of or a landscape is to look up references of landscapes and see what actually happens in them. See where the trees are located. See how many leaves are on them. See where the rocks are formed. See where the water is, and you'll have a better understanding as to where details are naturally applied in in nature. Naturally applied in nature. That's a dumb sentence. Anyway, um, grab this. Is all of it gray? Oh no, it's a different layer. Um, so yeah, I was right about the coloring happening between 1 o'clock and 1:30. Because it's 1:09 right now. Um, and I'm also right about the shading not happening in 30 minutes. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I can at least save this real quick. I can at least establish a few things here. I need to establish where I'm going to put do not repost on this illustration, as well as my watermark. Um, a nice little spot to put my watermark would probably be like here or in the buckle somewhere, or maybe on the glove. You know what I'm saying? There's a few places I would like to put it. Um, could be on the back of the shoe. I do at the back of the shoe quite often. It's like it's a nice symmetrical spot to put my logo on. Maybe I can put do not repost on the sole somewhere. That'd be kind of interesting. Or maybe down here, like do not repost. I don't know. I don't know, man. There's so many ways to go about it, man. Let me grab another file real quick. Let's take a look at Shadow real quick. Take a look at Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm gonna show you all the Shadow the Hedgehog drawing. This is the one I did yesterday on Twitch. Twitch you. Ahaha, look at him. Look at Shadow Man. So inspirational. So, what I want to grab from this shadow drawing is a few things. I want to grab the shading I used for shadow. So we got, let me see, this layer for example. I'm gonna grab the color of it, put it in here. So I'm gonna make a new layer with this mask, like so, and I'm gonna fill the whole thing up with purple. Well, actually, I need to turn off the reference layer, then fill up everything with purple. So it does that, right? And the reason why I do that is because this will be my multiply layer. The light source for shadow is the same light source for Sonic because of my master plan. So I need to light Sonic similarly. So because I'm lighting him similarly, the colors I use for the drawing will also remain the same. And another layer I can use is this. I need to grab the colors on that. So I'll make a new layer, make that a mask, and start shading some stuff in here. So I like to use Dry Bristle 1. It's a brush I picked up from a free brush pack that you can get for Clip Studio Paint. And it has this really cool like multiple bristle, like individual bristle strokes, like, and because of that, depending on how you apply it, you can either make clouds like this, or you can make hair or fur like that. So that's the brush I prefer using. And if you blend it well enough, it can just be like you can make anything, like you can shade anything with this brush. So it's very like, it's very versatile. So I like using it. You can apply it for a variety of things. So here I'm kind of just highlighting some areas where Sonic's fur can kind of um, brighten up a little bit in the shadows. There's another artist I follow. He's pretty popular. His name is, I believe, is pronounced Lee In Hyuk, and I noticed he shades something similar to this. He'll start with a gray flat, and he'll just highlight parts of his subject, and then he'll add colors in later on. Me, I'm kind of doing it the opposite way, where I have my colors already filled in, and then I have a multiply layer in which I put in my like light sources and stuff on top. Hello, my best artist. You're too kind. Hello, Just. Welcome to the stream. Drawing Soniku, as you might have guessed from the title. Thanks, because I'm making my own character, so I wanted to know how to make detailed drawings and backgrounds. Yeah, references will always be your friend. Uh, the more references you look up, the easier your visual library will develop. Like you'll have a stronger chance of developing a visual library, and then eventually there'll be a time where like, you can kind of just make stuff up without references. But it's good to have references, even when you want to make stuff up, because sometimes your memories deceive you. Sometimes you might not remember things the right way. So it's always good to like have them nearby. That's what I like to do with Sonic. Like for example, I was afraid I made too many too many hairs or too many like bangs in his hairs, but then I looked them up just to make sure, and like now it's more accurate. So like stuff like that. Um, uh, so yeah, because his arm is casting more shadows on his fur here, this arm would prevent more lighting from hitting it. Then it'll kind of bounce back up again here. And I put more pressure on the brush sometimes if I want to make it look more hairy. Um, like that. The bristles become more pronounced. The strokes become more pronounced, the lines in between them. Do you have any character channels to learn how to draw characters that you recommend? There's not really many I watch. There's one, I know there's this one guy whose server I'm in named Ethan Becker. And I saw a few videos from him, and they look pretty useful. So I guess he would be somebody you would be interested in looking at. Ethan Becker. Ethanbecker. I believe that's his name. Ethan Becker. Yeah. Yeah, that's his name. I don't know. I think he would be probably a good place to start, at least from what I've seen. Another channel I remember watching was called Boom Animation. No, Bam Animation. I don't know if they still make videos, but they have a decent number of quality videos where they talk about their experiences with character design. But yeah. Sonic's the name. Speed. He just stops talking. Speed. You guys ever think about how toxic Sonic is as a character? Like think about it. If you were on the opposing end of Sonic, you would hate him too. You would be Dr. Robotnik. Think about it. He pulls up whatever you're working on, he screws over and he taunts you. He taunts you whatever chance he gets. He literally starts going, "You're too slow," right in front of your face. There's nothing you can do about it. You wanna know why? Because you are too slow. You can't catch up. You're not fast enough. Come on, step it up. I'd be upset. I'd be upset if I ever had to face Sonic. I'd be livid. I would not have a good time. Goodness gracious, man. I'd be genuinely upset. You know, at least in Smash Bros, you know, back when I used to play, I could sometimes, you know, handle Sonic. Because, you know, I was playing a fast character myself, you know. Captain Falcon ain't no slowpoke. So, you know, if I had to face Sonic, you know, there was a fighting chance for me. But if I myself had to face Sonic, nah, bro. Nah, bro. Now I know why everybody want to be friends with Sonic, bro. It's not fun being on the other end. It doesn't help that his comic book version of himself is ridiculous. Like in terms of, he's just OP. Like he's his powers. Like it's not cool how OP Sonic is in the comics, bro. That's some Mary Sue type beat, or whatever the male equivalent of that is. That's some Mary Sue type beat. Not cool at all, bro. Not cool, Archie. Okay. What time is it? 119. So yeah, it looks like I'm getting through at least one layer of shading here. But after this layer, I'm probably gonna have to cut the stream. If I'm lucky though, I'm gonna try my best to get like one more set of shading in here taken care of before I head out. Because the thing is, even though I'm getting my seatbelt buckled at 4 p.m., my brother's high school is about 15 minutes away. But if you're trying to pick up a kid from school, you know that traffic is never fun. So I have to drive, like he gets off 218, but because the school is 15 minutes away, in order for me to show up on time while also not having to wait in line, I have to add in the time of getting there, which is 15 minutes. So 218, take out 15 minutes. I would have to leave 203. And 15 minutes is assuming there's no traffic. So let's say there is traffic. Add another 5 minutes to those 15 minutes is 20 minutes now. So now I have to be leaving my house around 150, like, I don't know, 158. But then that's assuming that when I get to that school at 118, there's not a line. And there will be a line. So now I have to think about, okay, how early do I have to get to that school to get a decent, like, you know, a decent spot in the line? And now it's like, okay, maybe 20 minutes before that. And it's like, oh, now it's 138. and then it's like, oh, it's close to 130. It's like it's funny how time works, man. It's so funny how time works. That junk is infuriating. It's a social construct. Why do we support this? Psych, no. I'm just rambling, trying to keep the stream not too quiet. That's all. While I casually shade Sonic's socks. Um, I don't want to make his socks too shiny though, because the material for it doesn't warrant it to be shiny. So I'll have to keep that in mind. What brush is used for gloss? How do you make the shading and lighting like in the shadow drawing? Um, well, I'm kind of doing the shading and lighting for the shadow drawing right now. Like this is how I started it. Like I'm using the exact same method that I used for the shadow drawing here. This is like the first step I took. I shaded everything with this deep purple. Not deep, but it's like a nice like tone of purple because what I like to do for my colors and shading is if I'm shading something with a warm light like the sun, which is, you know, more in the yellow area, the shadow is the opposite color of that light. So yellow and purple are kind of like complementary. So that's why I have a purple base layer as my shadow. Because the thing is, the sun's going to be hitting Sonic from the top, but it's going to be in front to him, but behind us. Or not behind. It's going to be behind Sonic from our perspective, but to Sonic, the sun is in front of him. But it'll be up top, so it's going to be a rim light effect from the sun. So primarily, what you're going to see is is shadows for Sonic. That's why we filled up everything with purple. Let's see. And again, purple is the complementary color for yellow. As many people know, shading with black just makes your drawings always look weird. And the only time I see black really working for shadows is if you're going for a more stylized, high contrast look. And since I'm not doing that this time around, it's not gonna work to use black. It'll just make everything look super muddy. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm using I'm using a purple as a multiply layer. I didn't set it to multiply yet because I still want to be able to see where I'm putting in this lighter blue. This lighter blue is to help with depth, because even though it's all going to be filled in by shadow, it's nice to still have some sense of depth visible, even if it's very subtle, because that's kind of how the real world works. It's like nothing is completely shrouded in darkness, so you'll always see definition of form, even in areas where shadows are very strong and prominent. So that's kind of what I'm uh, trying to recreate here with this highlighting, this gloss, if it were. It's literally just two separate layers. This is the first layer, right? This purple layer, and then the second layer is where I'm putting in all this gloss, if you will. This light that's being bounced around, even in the shadows. This is kind of like the reflections of like the environment surrounding Sonic. So even though because you know how in the real world the sun is one source of light, but because the light is so strong, the light is bouncing off other materials, and because those other materials are bouncing light back, areas that aren't being directly hit by the sun are still being lit up, simply because the light of the sun is so strong. So areas that aren't getting hit by the sun are getting residual sun light paths from the other surfaces bouncing it back. So because of that, you have this happening. Um, so that's kind of what I'm doing here. Uh, okay, okay. And now there'll be another layer. I probably won't do it this time around because it's 126. By 130, I'm gonna try and I'm probably gonna I'm gonna pause the stream, and if I don't come back, I'm gonna end the stream. Like if I go downstairs and I'm like, um, you want me to go pick up my sibling's mom, and then she'd be like, yeah, then I'll come back and end the stream. Um, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And then when I end the stream, it'll probably be a while before I come back. But when I do come back, I'm gonna try my best to finish this drawing, and hopefully the seatbelt buckle doesn't destroy me, and I won't be able to finish my drawing because that made me a little sad. Um, let's see. Okay. Let's work on the glove. Let's work on the glove. Um, I'm about to head on the road for work. If I don't hear from you later, in case you don't stream, hope you have a good day, a good one, and may Allah grant you shifa from second dose. I mean, peace out. All right, Musa. May your shift, you know, what's that word? Barakat. May it have barakat. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully it's not too hectic out there, not too stressful. And yeah, hopefully I do come back later today. But yeah, if I don't, definitely catch you later, man. Hope you have a good rest of your day at work. And just a good rest of your day, period. Let me see. How do I want to shade this? I want to put some texture in the glove, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything precise, but having a hand this close to the composition, like from a 3D point of view, having it so close to the center and forefront, you might as well add some interesting like hatches and textures and stuff into it. 128. Okay, so I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna try and finish shading this hand, and then I'm gonna see what the status is downstairs, and then most likely I'll probably have to head out. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Finish shading this out real quick. Since it's not a big focus of the drawing, I can be kind of loose with the illustrate with the shading at this layer. Oh, hold on. Hello? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sign. Oh. Um. Yeah. Um. Do you know his schedule? Like, do you know what classes he has last period? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. That was mom that just called me, so that means I'm definitely going. So I'm gonna delete this layer mask. Delete this layer mask. Grab these two, put them in a group. Grab this layer mask, make that the group layer mask. 70%. Set it to multiply. Okay. So that's kind of like what this is what I use that layer for, like this to light it up this way. Okay. So I'll hit save. All right. So like I said, I'm gonna end the stream here, and later in today, hopefully after I get my seatbelt buckled, I'm not out of commission. That's the hope right now. And if I'm not, I'm gonna try my best to finish the rest of this drawing. So thank you all for watching. I'm gonna try, like I said, to come back later, um, and finish this drawing for today, and as well as finish the master plan drawing. But